Welcome to Life, Death, and the Law, presented by the law firm of Deason, Garner, and Hansen, hosted by attorneys Shawn Garner and Adam Hansen.
I had a good discussion with a friend of mine. This is a kid that I knew since he was 12 years old, and I was his young men's leader, so we went on scouting adventures together. We went on a 50-mile canoeing trip together, and he had the gift of gab, so he could really talk. But anyway, he's now 21 years old, and he returned from an LDS mission and has grown quite a bit, has matured a lot, and he served his mission in Oakland, California. And we were talking politics and the welfare system and what could be done, because he saw so many individuals who have been stuck in the cycle, families and generations that have been stuck in the cycle of living off of welfare from generation to generation, that he couldn't understand how they could possibly break that cycle. The children don't have the mindset or the skills to make it in society. And I said, well, if I was the king of the world, I think we would have to eliminate it eventually, but we could do it in increments. We could do it maybe 5% at a time, 5% reduction of benefits per year. Let individuals know that's what was going to happen. Of course, you'd have to have an administration that was consistent and long-term enough in order for that to work. And I think that the biggest hindrance to society is that they don't learn to work. People don't learn to work and provide for themselves. And it's not exactly what Thomas is talking about hitting them and corporal punishment, but it is about consequences. It's about people taking accountability for their own actions and their own lives instead of this victim mentality or entitlement that I'm owed this by the government. The government is my de facto parents, and they should supply me with food and housing and medical care and everything else. And so I talked about what really we are entitled to as Americans, and that is just protection from the infringement upon our God-given rights, and that is life, liberty, and property. Property being we have to maintain the ability to keep our intellectual property, things that we contrive and concepts that we invent on our own, and intellectual property. Also, the production of that we make from property that we own. That is hence the definition of capitalism is production from owning something, capital. And all of that is necessary for the government to do to protect us from others infringing upon those rights, but we have no entitlement for the government to give us anything. And in fact, when we do feel that way, or when the government does provide those entitlements, those systems of welfare and the bigger the safety net there is, the weaker the mind is, the weaker the body becomes, and we don't fend for ourselves. And I don't know what individuals would do to start providing for themselves, but humans are very, very intuitive. They're very creative. They can figure it out. And so I have a lot of faith in humankind in general, and Americans specifically, because of the mass wealth that we have here and the infrastructure that's provided and the amazing land that's provided, that we could do much better if the government would pull back and get out of our way. So that was my approach to him.
If you have questions or want to know more about something that was discussed today, please call the law firm of Deason, Garner, and Hansen at 928-783-4575 or visit yumaestateplanning.com.